guiding your hearts with the Dabar of YAHUAH. When you love YAHUAH, you will be obedient to YAHUAH, and that is love. Yes, that is love, and that's the message I'm about to minister. Guiding your hearts. Guide your hearts. YAHUAH says you should love him with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. Let us read the first scripture. Dabar of YAHUAH. You see, it's the same, the love, the message of love. Somebody came to ask Yahusha, what will I do? What is the greatest commandment in the scriptures? And that's the religious expert. He came to ask Yahusha, what's the greatest commandment in the scripture? And Yahusha told him, and Yahusha said to him, you must love YAHUAH your Yahuwah with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. Say, this is the great and first commandment. You see, the 10 commandments split into 2. That is what Yahusha put here. So love is your obedience to YAHUAH, because YAHUAH has told you not to do evil to your neighbor. So when you obey YAHUAH, that is love, because YAHUAH said, do not kill. You must not kill. You see, you must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not bear false witness against your neighbor. If you love your neighbor, you will not bear false witness against your neighbor. If you love your neighbor, you will not kill your neighbor. If you love your neighbor, you will not go and sleep with your neighbor's wife. You see, so love is obedience to YAHUAH's Dabar, and that is why you need to use that obedience to YAHUAH's Dabar to guide your heart. So the message of today is guiding your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH. How can you guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH? That's what we're going to be looking at today. Let me round up the scriptures now. He said, and Yahusha told that law, the religious law expert that came to ask him what is the greatest commandment. And Yahusha said to him, you must love YAHUAH your Yahuwah with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second commandment is the other part of the commandment, which is from the 5th commandment, which is honoring your father and your mother. You know, that's the 5th commandment. Then the 6th commandment said you must not kill. The 7th commandment said you must not commit adultery. The 8th commandment said you must not bear false witness against your. The 8th commandment said you must not steal. The 9th commandment said you must not bear false witness against your neighbor. Then the 10th commandment said you must not covet. That is the second. Is the second, like that's the second commandment, which is Yahusha quoted there. And the second is like it. You must love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demand of the Nabims are based on these 2 commands. You see? So love is guiding. When you love YAHUAH, you will use the Dabar of YAHUAH to live your day-to-day life. That's the true love. When you love YAHUAH with your heart, you will make sure the Dabar of YAHUAH guides you. You will not live your life the way you want. No, YAHUAH does not want you to live your life anyhow the way you want. He wants you to live your life by obeying his instructions, his regulations, and his commands. That's the way YAHUAH wants you to live your life. So there's no other way you can live your life. If you live your life outside what YAHUAH has programmed for you to live it, that means you are a disobedient child, and you will have punishment at the end of time. The punishment is await you. So that is the message I ministered last Shabbat. You can make your choice. Your choice have consequences. You have the power to make your choices, but remember, those choices that you make, they have their own consequences. So from this very point of time in your life, make sure you guide your heart constantly with the Dabar of YAHUAH. Let me read from Yeshayahu chapter 26 verse 3 to 4. He said, for YAHUAH will keep you. He said, for YAHUAH will keep in perfect shalom all who trust in him. When you trust in YAHUAH, you will be obedient to YAHUAH's Dabar. That is how you can use the Dabar of YAHUAH to guide your heart. your decisions, your day-to-day decisions will be guided by the Dabar of YAHUAH, which is the word of YAHUAH. So he said, for YAHUAH we keep in perfect shalom all who trust in him, all whose thoughts are fixed in YAHUAH. So the people that YAHUAH will keep in perfect shalom are the people that trust in him. Verse 4, he said, trust in YAHUAH always. Always. That means guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH always. When things are not going in the direction that you want them to go, do not give up on your life, because YAHUAH said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So that is part of guiding your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH. He said, trust in YAHUAH always, for YAHUAH our YAHUAH is the eternal rock. So constantly guide your heart, constantly. It's a day-to-day activities. So you must guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH by trusting in YAHUAH always. Trusting in YAHUAH always is part of guiding your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH. Because YAHUAH said you should love him with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. Do not forget that. Love YAHUAH with your heart, your mind, and your soul. That is what we just read in Matthew chapter 22. And Yahusha said to him, you must love YAHUAH with your heart, you must love YAHUAH your YAHUAH with all your heart, all of it. It's not part of it. It's not when things are going right. No. It's not just when things are going right that you start loving YAHUAH with your heart. No. It's continuous day-to-day life. Every day of your life. You must love YAHUAH your YAHUAH with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, constantly. Let's read from Mashaim, which they translate to Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 10 to 27. He said, my child, listen to me and do as I say, and you will have, and you will have a long, good life. So, when you listen to the Dabar of YAHUAH, you do as the Dabar of YAHUAH say, you will have a long, good life. You will live a good and a very long life. That is how, when you trust in YAHUAH and listen to the Dabar of YAHUAH, that is how it will be for you. You will live a very good life, a long and a very good life, by listening to the Dabar of YAHUAH. You see? By focusing on the Dabar of YAHUAH, by making the Dabar of YAHUAH be your number one place in your thought process. Before you think of anything you want to do, let the Dabar, which is the scripture, the Dabar, which is the word of YAHUAH, let it guide you in every decision that you make. Because without the Dabar of YAHUAH guiding you, you will make wrong decisions. Yes, everything is already in the scriptures. Every decision you want to make, if you focus on, that's why you need to constantly study the scriptures, so that you will know how the scripture can, so that you can know how the scripture can guide you. Because if you don't know the scriptures, how can you know how the Dabar can guide you? How can you use the Dabar to guide your heart? It's a constant day-to-day work. It's a day-to-day. You must study. The scripture says, study to show yourself approved unto YAHUAH. So studying the scripture is for your own good. You see? Let's read again from the Mashaim. He said, my child, listen to me and do as I say. You will, he said, when you listen to the Dabar, which is the Dabar of YAHUAH, which is the scriptures and the commandment of YAHUAH, when you obey them, he said, when you do as they say, and he said, then you will have a long, good life. Then you will have a long, good life. You see? You will have a long, good life. I will teach you the way of wisdom. Now, the scripture is about to teach you the ways of wisdom now. He said, I will teach you the ways of wisdom and lead you in straight paths. The scripture, the Dabar of YAHUAH, will teach you the ways of wisdom, and the Dabar of YAHUAH will lead you in a straight path. In a straight path that you will get to your destination in life. Verse 12. When you walk, you will not be held back. You see, when you allow the scripture, the Dabar of YAHUAH guide you, when you walk, you will not be held back in life. When you run, you will not stumble. When the Dabar of YAHUAH guides you, you will not stumble in life. When you allow the Dabar of YAHUAH guide you in your life, you will not stumble like people stumble every day. Verse 13. He said, take hold of my instruction. Take hold of the instruction of the scriptures. Take hold of it. Do not let them go. Guide them. You have to guide them now, for they are the key to life. The Dabar of YAHUAH is the key to your life. So now that you know that the Dabar of YAHUAH is the key to your life, what are you going to do from this day? Are you still going to focus on your personal carnal mind, or you are going to focus on the Dabar of YAHUAH? The scripture says to be carnally minded is death. To be carnally minded, when you live in your carnal mind, he said that is death already. He said, but to be this, when you are mindful of the Ruach, which is to be spiritually minded, you will have life and shalom. You will have life and peace. So which do you choose? Like the last Shabbat message that talks about your choice and the consequences that follow. Do you want to choose your carnally mind, or you want to choose the leading of the Ruach Kadash that will give you life and shalom, that will make you to live a life, the great life that YAHUAH has programmed for you, and you will have shalom constantly in your life? So which do you choose? You must understand that when you choose to follow the instructions and the regulations of Abba YAHUAH, and let them guide you in your heart, let them guide your heart continuously, you will not be making wrong decisions in your life. You will not be making wrong decisions. All your decisions will be based on what YAHUAH Dabar. That means what YAHUAH says. So it's important that you focus on this area in your life by guiding your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH. Verse 14. Do not do as the wicked do. When you guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH, you will not do things as the wicked people do. And do not follow the path of evildoer. When the Dabar of YAHUAH guides you in your heart continuously, you will not be making wrong decisions to follow evildoers. You will not follow evildoers. Verse 15. Do not even think about it. Do not go he said, do not go that way. Do not go the way of the evildoers. Turn away and keep moving. Turn away from evil doing by guiding your heart constantly with the Dabar of YAHUAH. For evil people, this is verse 16 now. He said, for evil people cannot sleep until they have done their evil deeds. Because they don't guide their heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH, they can't sleep until they have accomplished their evil deed. For the day, he said they must accomplish their evil deed for that day before they will not say, okay, I've finished with my evil, their evil that they want to do. So it's a constant day-to-day work. He said they cannot rest until they have caused someone to stumble. So when you don't guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH, your carnal mind will be directing you, and you will not be able to rest until you do evil. You see? But when you guide your heart with the Dabar of YAHUAH, you will understand that YAHUAH told you that you should love your neighbor as yourself. You see? When you love your neighbor as yourself, you will not do evil to your neighbor. And that is the life that Abba YAHUAH has programmed you to live. The life that will be of barakah to people, not by pulling people down. No. And that is the life you need to think about. I want you to go write this scripture down and read it on your own. Yashayahu, which they translate to Isaiah chapter 58. You can read from verse 1 to verse 14. That's the full chapter. Read it for yourself. It's very important. When YAHUAH is talking about the way he wants us to live a righteous life, by doing good, not by pretense. When you pretend, you are not doing anybody, you are doing yourself. You think nobody is watching you, but Abba YAHUAH sees everything. You see? So focus on using the Dabar of YAHUAH constantly to live your life. Use the Dabar to live your life. Let it guide you in your day-to-day activities, in your life that you live, in the choices that you make. Let the Dabar of YAHUAH guide you.